The Dershow.
You can decide whatever you want about OJ, about Von Bulow, about any of my clients. I have no stake in that. In fact, my mother, when people would go over to my mother and say, you know, OJ is really guilty, or Klaus Von Bulow is guilty, and your son got him off. And my mother would say, just makes him a better lawyer, just shows he's a better lawyer. So my mother knew how to answer those kinds of arguments, but not too many other people do. I have a friend, a very bright guy, went to college with him. He doesn't understand it. He just doesn't understand it. He accuses me of being the people I represent. You know, that's what Joe McCarthy did. I expect more of you, Alan. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to give your last name, but you know better than that. You know that John Adams didn't support the Boston Massacre killers when he defended them, that Abraham Lincoln didn't support the many murderers who he defended, that other great lawyers in history. You don't identify with your clients any more than a doctor does with his patients. Would my friend Alan condemn a doctor who treated the people I've defended? I don't know, but he condemns me for who I have defended, and many other of my friends do that. Some do it openly, some do it quietly, but many people do it. I would say most Americans condemn lawyers for the clients they defend. I was on Piers Morgan today debating some character who purports to represent the Palestinians, and he kept saying, I'm a terrorist, Dershowitz is a terrorist because he defends terrorists. First of all, some of the terrorists I've defended have been Palestinian terrorists. I defended two of them early in my career, and I supported the rights of terrorists to get fair trials. So I'm a terrorist because I defend the terrorists. Piers Morgan went after him with a vengeance and showed, obviously, that you don't identify a lawyer with his client, but that's what people do. I don't know why this judge did what he did. I was very surprised. I thought, in light of the verdict in the case, which essentially is an acquittal, two minor charges of transporting somebody, even transporting is such a sexist concept. Two people get on a plane. Is one transporting the other? The woman drives. Is he transporting her? What does transporting even mean in the context of this absurd Mann Act statute that was passed in the age when adultery was regarded as a crime? It's a statute that shouldn't be on the books, and it shouldn't be misused in the way it was misused. Look, I have no brief for Sean Combs as a person. I've never heard him sing a song. I have no idea. I'm not a rap aficionado. I didn't even know what he does, but he's rich and he lives on Star Island. I know that about him, and I know what he was convicted of, and what he's convicted of is not and should not be a crime. And so I think it'll be reversed on appeal. It certainly should be reversed on appeal. The judge may very well sentence him symbolically to an additional year or 6 months. I think that would be wrong, but that will be challenged as well. I think the denial of bail pending appeal will be challenged in the Court of Appeals, and I would hope that the Court of Appeals will rule in favor of Combs and say, look, there's a good appellate issue here. He's not going to flee. He's not going to be a danger to the community. So the law says we have to let him out. Yeah, he's wealthy. He can afford millions of dollars of bail, but that's the way the bail system operates. All right. We'll see what happens. That's one area where my predictions have been wrong. I predicted earlier in the day, before I knew anything about the case other than the verdict, I predicted that he would probably get bail and that he would probably get time served. That may still happen, but certainly it hasn't happened at the trial level. And so his lawyers and he are appropriately disappointed.